What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm ready to spill some sauce, yo. I'm about to be putting y'all on to my 75% win rate strategy. But before we get into this video, I want y'all to do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and I would greatly appreciate it. Now let's get into the video. So the strategy I trade is called supply and demand, and I'm gonna start with demand. A demand zone is a price area where buyers consistently step into the market, raising price level higher, so the buyers are more significant than the sellers. How do you spot a demand zone? You spot a demand zone by seeing consecutive bullish candles. So y'all see how we have 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive bullish candles. You know that price went from right here to right here without seeing no bearish candle in between. And you see how the volume of the candles consecutively get bigger. That's how you spot a demand zone, by the smart money, by looking at where the banks, the hedge funds, and people with big capital get into the market. So after spotting an influx in buys, how do you drop a demand zone? So my color chart might be different from y'all's, but my bearish candles are gray and my bullish candles are blue. So I draw my zone from the top of the first bearish candle to the push. So from the top of the first bearish candle, the wicks, I draw from the top of the wick to the bottom of the wick of that bearish candle, and that's how I drop a demand zone. Not every demand zone is going to look the same because not every setup is going to be the same. So the way we drew this zone is going to be different from the way we draw this zone. So I draw this zone from the top of the bearish wick to the bottom of that bullish wick, because y'all see that the bearish wick doesn't come all the way down there, so it's not the lowest point in the zone. So I'm gonna draw it from the top of that bearish wick right there to the bottom of this bullish wick, so I could get the whole zone. So guys, after we've drawn up the demand zone, what do? We patiently wait for price to come back to our level, because trading is a 90% waiting and 10% executing. So guys, you have to really be patient. So since we had an influx in buyers that left us this demand zone, when price comes back to this level, we should have another influx in buyers that want to take it up further. After we've tapped the demand zone, I'm gonna show y'all how to enter a trade, and I'm also going to list y'all some of the confluences I like to look out for to let me know that the trade is going to be an A+ setup. Before we get into the entries, I'm about to list y'all some of the confluences I want to see to let us know if the demand zone is an A+ setup. So first, I want to see clear higher highs and higher lows being created. And then also I want to see a clear break of structure, and then I want to see a fair value gap attached to the demand zone. Another confluence I like to see when we tap the zone is I want my zone to be treated like a virus. So I don't want any candle to close in the zone. I want each candle to have long bottom wicks to the bottom side. It's going to tell me that sellers try to push it down, but buyers was not going for that. You with me? So I want my candles to have bottom wicks to the bottom side, and I don't want any candle to close in the zone. Now we could talk about entries. My entry time frame is always going to be on the 5-minute. That's the sweet spot for me. It's less volatile than the 1-minute or the 3-minute, and also we have fewer fake outs on the 5-minute. Also, you're not going to be waiting about 10 years to see a trade like you are on the 15-minute or on the 1 hour. Alright, so how I set my orders is that I wait on the break of candle. So there's two type of entries. There's an enter aggressive and enter on the break of candle. So if you enter aggressive, you're going to enter immediately when it taps our zone. So really, you do not have any confirmation that the zone is going to hold, because sometimes the zone might not hold, which is just a part of the things you have to sacrifice. Sometimes the zone might just get blown through, and if you don't have the confirmation that the bullish pressure is stepping in when we tap the zone, then you're just gambling, to be honest. That's why I always wait for my break of candle entry. So I set my order right above that bullish candle. So when we tap the zone, when that first candle right here taps the zone, I set my order above the top wick of that bullish candle, or the candle that taps my zone. And then I place my stop loss 1 pip below the lowest point in the zone. So right here, 1 pip below the lowest point in the zone. Guys, another thing with the break candle entry is that, let's say this bullish candle did not give us the entry, so we will keep on dragging our entry lower and lower till we get that break candle entry. So let's say, I'm gonna show y'all. So if we tap the zone right here with the wick, boom, we tap My drawing look, that don't even, that just look weird. Hold on, that just look weird. You hear me? But let's say we tap the zone right here. Bro, what's up? I'ma just draw it anyway, bro. Come on. Let's say we tap the zone right there. Boom. We wick into the zone. We tap it. The next candle doesn't give the entry. So we keep on going lower, lower, lower. And then boom, right there. That's another one. We will keep on dragging our entry. We'll keep on, hold on. We'll keep on dragging our entry lower and lower and moving the stop loss to the lowest point in the zone. Like you see how this low is lower than this low. We'll keep on moving the stop loss to the lowest point in the zone till we get that entry. So another thing that I want to look out for to let me know if I'm entering this trade is that if the wick goes below the zone, I am not entering into that trade because the zone has been invalidated. So I don't want to see a wick come all the way down here and still close above the zone. I don't want to see that. I want to see a wick that's still in the zone and then a close that's above the zone. So I don't want to see a wick that goes below right here. So for my take profit, I always go for a 1-to-1. Guys, I'm a scalper and I'm always going to be in internal structure for the most part. So if I go for anything that's like a 1-to-2, especially on a 5-minute, or like a 1-to-3, or like a pushing it 1 to 1.5, I'm probably going to get broke even because I'm in internal structure and I don't want to, it's going to go align with the higher time frame after passing a certain range. And when I back tested, I figured out that that 1-to-1 is that sweet spot. Also, as a scalper that I am, I love being in and out of my trades quickly. So every trade that I'm in, it usually lasts about 5 to 10 minutes. Y'all can see I'm in this trade for about what, 2 candles, 2 5-minute candles. That's 10 minutes right there. I'm in and out of my trade like that. Boom. And also with every trade I take, I always risk 1% of my account size. So if I'm on a 50k account, I'm risking 500. If I'm on a 100k, I risk 1000. I ain't gonna lie, you only have 4 trades to lose consecutively before you blow your account. And with my 75% win rate strategy, you're barely going to have them months that you're losing 4 consecutive trades, unless the month has been shitty or like we're just in a bad period of time. You're barely going to have them trades that you're losing 4 consecutive. So that's why I always risk 1% of my account size. I'm also a one and done type of nigga, so I only take 1 trade per day. Most I ever trade is 2 times a day. If my first trade was a break even, then I allow myself to take another trade. Guys, if you really think about it, you're not supposed to be trading 3-4 times a day, because the more you expose yourself into the market, the more it's going to take from you. I'm gonna show y'all another example of a demand zone, and then we're going to get into supplies. So this is another example of a demand zone on gold. I'm not even going to draw it up. I want y'all to spot it. I'm going to give y'all 5 seconds to spot the zone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you couldn't spot this demand zone, you got to rewatch this whole video from the jump. But it's right here. So we can see that we have higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, low, high lows being created. So we obviously see that we're trending in the market conditions. And then we see we have a breakup structure of this previous highs right here. And we have a fair value gap attached to the zone right here. Also, when we tap this zone, you see that rejection? That rejection is what I want to see every time. That rejection, it is so beautiful. We came extremely low into the zone and then we rejected and we closed right here. So we put the order right here and we put our stop loss at this lowest point in the zone. And then we go right here, lowest point in the zone, boom. And then we go for a 1-to-1. Yeah, I see that. That's literally in 1 candle. I tell y'all, but I be in and out of my trades so quick. That's why I love being a scalper. You're in and out like this. You're not wasting no time. So everything I said for the demand zone works exactly the same for the supply zone. It's just flipped. So instead of going into extreme detail of what a supply zone is, I'm just going to show y'all some examples and hopefully y'all catch on from there, because it's the same thing as a demand zone but just opposite. And I'm not trying to make a 40-minute video, because I know me, I don't be having time to sit down and watch no 40-minute video. I got ADHD, so I'm gonna make this joint quick for y'all. How do you spot a supply zone? So y'all see how we're currently creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So you can see that price is trending to the downside. And then you see this influx in sellers right here. You see how we have no bullish candles in between this right here. And y'all see how we're also breaking structure right here, breaking structure right here. So we're consecutively breaking lows and going down. How do you draw your supply zone? So you draw your supply zone from the first bullish candle before the huge push. So you go from the bottom of that wick, that bullish wick right here, to the top of this bullish wick. So like I said, I want to see we have break of structure to the bottom side, we have a clear trend, and we also have a fair value gap attached. So that's already 3 of my confluences I want to see before we even tap the zone. Then we wait for the candle to patiently come back to the zone, which it did right here. And yeah, as you can see, when we tapped this zone, we had a huge upper wick right there. No candle close in the zone. Like I said, I want to see the zone being respected and rejected. I want to see it act like a virus. So we're gonna wait on the breaker candle entry. So I'm gonna put my order right here and put my stop 1 pip above the zone right there, and I'm gonna go for a 1-to-1. Not gonna lie, this zone is huge. Let's see if we get a better entry. Oh, we get filled right there. Okay, so yeah, we get filled right here. And you see that when we came up, this candle opened. It opened, it went up, and then immediately rejected and came and gave us this entry. So this is a strong candle. This close is iffy, but we still entered. We still got filled in. So let's see what happens if we get that 1-to-1. Boom. You see that? Next candle, boom. Yeah, see this, bro? This is how many candles? 1, 2, 3. 15 minutes and you're in and out of a trade. I risked 500 on this trade, so I just made 515 minutes. Don't that shit sound crazy to y'all? I'm gonna show y'all another example. So we have another example here on crude, and I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds. I'm gonna give y'all 5 seconds to spot the zone. Let's see if y'all really learning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So in this one right here, we have 2 zones. So if y'all said this zone, y'all correct. And if y'all said this zone, y'all still correct too. So let's work with the top zone first. Go back, boom. So we have a huge push in price right here. We have breaker structure to the left. If you see this wick right here, let me draw it up for y'all. Go, boom, right there. Y'all see that we broke this structure right here with this wick. So we have huge push to the downside, we have breaker structure, and we also have fair value gap. So we have the first 3. Drop the zone, wait for price to you gonna skip me forward. My fault, y'all. We had some technical difficulties with TradingView. I think it's because I canceled my subscription. They trying to do some tricks with me. You hear me? Anyways, we gonna wait for the candle to come back to the zone, which it does right there. Boom. So the candle comes back into the zone, taps the zone, filling all the gaps. Y'all see that this is a beautiful tap on the zone. We tap and immediately rejected and closed right here, bro. So this is what you want to see every time the candle comes and taps your zone. Immediately taps and rejects. So we gonna put the entry right there. Boom. Put our stop 1 pip above and do that real quick. Put our stop 1 pip above and go for a 1-to-1. See what happens. Okay, now we don't get filled right here. We move it up. That's what I was telling y'all. You keep moving it up till you get that fill. Still no candle close in the zone. Still no candle close in the zone. So y'all, we're getting better entries. You see how the size of the trade just reduced? We're getting better entries. And then do we get it right here? Boom. We get the entry. And we're playing around. Boom. Y'all see that? How many candles was that? 1, 2, 3. Another 15-minute trade. Yeah, I tell you, like, you're in and out of these trades in 15 minutes. It's another $500 right here. This shit don't sound crazy to y'all? Like, we also have another good supply zone right here with this huge push, break of structure, price creating lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. So we gonna drop the zone right here. Boom. Wait for price to come back, tap it. Which it did, right? Came back, tap it. No candle close on the zone. Decent rejection. Put out order right there. Stop 1 pip above the zone. Go for a 1-to-1. Boom, we get filled. Move this up a bit because came up before it filled us down. So boom, and let's see how this plays out. Y'all see that? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 candles. 20-minute trade. Made $500 right there. I won't take a second trade because I told you I'm a one and done trader, but you could have made $1,000 this day. That's crazy. So yeah, that was my 75% winning strategy. Before I even close this video out, I want to say the pairs that I trade is NQ and gold. Y'all could do your own research and back tests on different future pairs, but that's what's best for me, and they kind of move volatile, so I kind of like that, and I need that volume to be in and out of my trades in 5 minutes. So if y'all are new, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, let me know if y'all want a part 2 or a more in-depth version, because this is just like shallow. This is not really, I ain't really go too deep into the strategy because there's more, but let me know if y'all want a part 2 of this video. With all that being said, y'all, I'm out.